Today I'm going to show you how to create design options in your Revit model. Design options are great because you can use them to show a couple of ideas that you want to maybe use in your plans, but not fully commit to them where you have to actually create a full-blown model of them. This is also great because it keeps you from having to create more than one model and accidentally making a whole bunch of changes or updating one model but not transferring over to the other and ending up with a ton of different models and confusion on your projects and you have no idea what's up. So you can keep it all in one place. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go down to the bottom of my screen right here in the middle, and I'm going to click on design options. If you get some type of warning about saving or something like that, I always recommend saving, just simply because you never know when you're going to lose something. But if you haven't done any changes, you can always hit cancel and continue on. So inside of here, there's a few things that you have to make sure you do. The first thing you have to make sure you do is you have to actually make sure you tell it that you have an option set. So we're going to click on where it says option set. We're going to say new. Now, you can have a bunch of option sets in your model, and you can also have a bunch of options for each option set. So there's really no limit to those. So I always tell people to make sure you name every option set that you're setting up in your model to make sure you don't get confused. So here's what I mean by that. So I'm going to click on my option set 1, and I'm going to make sure I rename it. And in this particular case, I'm actually going to be doing something where I'm exploring having an open balcony on my second floor, or if I'm going to keep it closed, it looks over the stairs. So we can always say balcony for the stairs, and maybe we'll say stair balcony. And at the end, we'll just keep it like that, stair balcony, and tell it okay. And then my different options is where I'm going to actually list what that option is. So for my first option, which is the next item down, I'm going to click on this concept of maybe having an open balcony option. So I'm going to click on here, and I'm just going to say open. And what's the point of having this if you're not going to have more than one option? So I'm going to add in another option. So what I'll do is right here where it says option, I'll click on new, and I'll rename this one, and this one will be called my closed option. So then from here, the way that this works is if you want to edit your options, you just simply click on the one that you want to edit, and you can click on edit selected, and then you'll notice everything else grays out because it puts you in option mode. And you can actually hit close on this dialog box. This can go away while you do your work. Now, a couple things to notice. If you'll look on here, you'll notice that the walls, and anything that is actually a model component has grayed out. The items that have not grayed out are anything that is a detail component, or it's 2D detail. And the way you do it is you'll notice you cannot change these. These have to stay where they are and go from there. So I actually am exploring this option of actually taking this wall, extending it to here, and this being a separate piece. But there's a problem. It's in my main model right now. So what I'll need to do is I'll actually need to click and go to my main model. And I'm going to actually use my split tool here. And I'm going to split this wall at this point because this is where there's a question on whether or not I'm going to keep this open. Then from here, the other thing that I need to make sure that I do is, because I have set this up to whether I'm going to have it open or closed, I need to make sure that I take this wall piece and actually send it into the options. So the way you do that is you click down here on the button that says add to set. You click that, and essentially I'm going to actually send it just to the closed option. I'm not going to have it in the open option. but I'm going to have it in my close option. So I unclicked open and I told this OK. And you'll notice that it's now giving me this warning about having multiple rooms. That's okay because I'm going to add a wall in. So I'm going to tell this OK. So then what I'm going to then do is I'm going to actually go to my open option here. And I'm going to take that wall. I'm going to go to architecture. I'm going to click on wall, and I believe I'm just using a regular 4 7/8 partition. And I'm now going to click it and close this space back up. And you'll notice that it's just this wall that I put in is all that's black. Everything else is still the gray because it's part of another option. So now all I have to do is I'm going to add in, I've decided I'm going to add in a wall here. That's not just it. I'm going to add in a door. I'm going to add in some railings. So there's some other work that I'm going to do to this option, but all I essentially have to do is when I want to make changes, I just go down here to the bottom and then go to this open primary, and there we go. And I'm going to make changes. If I'm going to make changes to my close option, and I'm just going to click here and I'm going to show that to you, I do the same thing. I click and I decide yes or no, I'm going to add this here, so on and so forth. And then once I'm done, I just make sure that I go back down here to my bottom again, and I click on main model, and it pops me back into the original file, or the original model here. And it's just that simple. In another video, I can show you how to create views that go with the different options that you have created, so you don't have to worry about showing two different things in one space. And I can also show you how to work with phasing and optioning if you have that question. So if there's any other pieces of information, or if you want me to explore options a little bit more, show you something a little bit different, make sure you leave me a comment below. Thank you.